could be helped by doing a immediate change of the fresh water to a slightly saltier, higher salinity environment. It may not work because whatever the pathogen is already adapted to the higher salt concentration. Okay? It's kind of like having antibiotic resistance, MRSA in people. MRSA is methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, all right, and that's a horrendous, nasty infection for people, and it actually causes people to die, all right. So I try to do as little as I have to with the environment for habitat, all right, and just try to improve the parameters there and work on the individuals in a separate container, okay. Yes,
so if you're trying to decide, is it bacterial or like parasites? Can you tell like the symptoms of what are different, so you can sort of?
Not just from looking at them 100%. Okay. Trichodyna and ick, which is actually Ichthyophthorus. Okay. Those are external parasites. They cause the white spot disease. All right. Both of those can cause irritation of the skin, causes intense itching, and the fish will dart around, swim. They will swim down to the bottom, bang themselves on the rocks. What is that going to do to their skin and slime layer? It's going to remove it. It's going to lacerate their skin. That's a source of another infection that can take hold. And then it's also a source of the fish being predisposed to osmoregulation issues because their skin prevents them from dehydrating, which means the salinity in the fish versus salinity in the water. This is where the salt would work really great because it balances out that osmoregulation across their skin and their gills, decreases the stress on them. All right. Putting the salt in the pond may help with that, but then your protozoa parasites are going to be already prepared for increasing salt concentrations. Okay? But how do I tell the difference between those? Skin scraping, scale scraping, and taking swabs of the lesions. Alright, and then I take it back to the clinic and I look at it on the microscope. I've got a camera on the microscope which can show us some of these pictures. I take images of it, put it in the record, email it to you while I'm posting it on the Veterinary Information Network if I need more information. Okay, and it's just amazing. I've been talking to one guy in England about a proton earlier this year, and he's just fascinated. Okay, so not a whole lot of resources out there, but vets that I've run across, I've been very impressed with them, and they are definitely authorities above and beyond me, and I love being able to bounce things off of them. Okay.
Do you recommend using a UV to kill bacteria that's in the pond?
Absolutely. It will work on bacteria that is free in the pond. It's not going to touch the bacteria that are attached to the surfaces. But anything floating around in the water is going to get pulled through your filtration system and run through that UV light. Okay, I think they also call them clarifiers.
Yes.
UV clarification. All right. So I think UV clarification is fantastic. And right now, this time of year, how many of us have green algae in their ponds? I'd hate to say that I'm the only one.
Yeah.
All right. But UV sterilization works on that as well. Okay.
So like we add beneficial bacteria to the water for water quality and all that good. And then you're running the UV clarifier. So are you like killing what you're liquefying into your pond?
How often do you recommend doing the beneficial bacteria?
Once a week.
Okay. Do we know exactly what the beneficial bacteria is doing? I agree, it's beneficial.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not harmful. Okay.
Okay.
I just don't think it's a necessary expense. All right. typically beneficial bacteria, if you are anticipating that you're going to kill off some of the microflora of the pond, you're denitrifying bacteria, okay? Say you change out your entire filtration system, you're starting all fresh, you put that beneficial bacteria to give the filtration system a jump. All right, it's like jump starting your dead pond. All right, once you get it jump started, it's gonna run. All right. If you have an ammonia spike, that's a reason to add some beneficial bacteria. But just on a regular basis to continually add, not unless you're having an issue, is my understanding. Okay. We are not talking about, say, people are always talking about, oh, I take probiotics, or I'm eating yogurt or Greek yogurt for the lactobacillus and the beneficial prebiotics, okay? If that's helping a person's GI tract, it's because we got a metabolic issue, okay? And yes, that's an existing ongoing disease process that is being maintained, but not cured. Does that make sense? All right. Someone with inflammatory bowel disease is not necessarily going to go on antibiotics. They're going to go with probiotics, prebiotics. They may even get some microflora transplanted from another individual into their gut to help colonize their gut. Yeah, it sounds disgusting, but it's actually very helpful. Okay, I feel sorry for the person who did the research on that. Okay, but it's been a big thing in food animal medicine with cattle. All right, cattle, they would put windows through the abdominal wall into the rumen of the stomach where fermentation takes place. All right, and they would reach in, they would open up this window, reach in, pull it out, close the window, and put it in another cow that was having dysentery. Okay? But that was that cow's purpose, to be a source for that, so they didn't have to continue to go in and slice it open and create scar tissue. It's bizarre. Okay? Yes?
You're talking about not feeding during the winter, and I don't, but then every spring, when I start trying to feed them again, they're afraid. And they won't come out, and it actually is very helpful if you introduce a new fish into the tank that doesn't act afraid of it. And I don't know why, because I cover it with a net during the fall and winter and early spring. So it's not like clean animals is living in, but it's just like I feel like it's all over them.
Well, there is a stress period that they're going to go through. Okay, and that's going to vary according to what's the population of fish, what's the size of the fish you're introducing. Okay, if
well,
you've got...
it's not the fish that's introducing, I do it later.
Oh, okay.
But no, that's something I do that...
I'm sorry, I'm missing something. I apologize.
Occasionally, when the fish are already afraid of eating again in the spring, I will introduce new fish afterwards. They'll see the new fish eating and then they start.
Oh, okay.
But it just seems that every spring it's always an issue to try to get them in the habit of eating again. So that I'm not
How soon are you trying to start feeding?
Usually it's in early April-ish. Okay.
So the water could still be cool. Okay.
Average last flood state is like April 20th.
Okay. Yeah. All right, and I would say at that point the fish should be eating pretty regularly. Now, if you're trying to stimulate them to eat, all right, came up with this. Someone called me about discus. How many know what discus fish are? They are the real big, expensive freshwater, crispy-looking fish that have reds, yellows, blue stripes. They're gorgeous. All right, from South America. Okay, the Germans made them into the hybrids that they are. All right. Now these fish stress easily. They go off food, and it takes forever for them to start eating again. Client had called, or had a discus call my entire life. Wasn't eating. Okay. Here's what I want you to do. I remember when I went fishing all the time. There is a bait enhancer you can purchase at the fishing department to put on lures. It stimulates fish to strike the lure. Put it with the food. It will increase their food drive. You got it. All right.
Another question.
And some people have tried garlic. They've pointed me to things that say garlic increases fish appetite. If you're Italian, sure.
Makes them taste better.
Occasionally we'll have a fish disappear on us. We had a small koi disappeared about 2 weeks before we had some pond work done. So the water was empty. There was a net over it, so I don't see any external animals or birds getting at it. But the fish disappears and we don't find any of it.
How many other fish are in the pond?
Well,
Okay. They can cannibalize something dead. They will definitely cannibalize.
If it's dead, you said? I'm sorry?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't care if it's fresh killed, old
As long as
killed.
it's dead, they won't
It's
go after the
food.
live one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really good at recycling, which is sad. Okay? Yes, sir.
Okay, you're slightly familiar with the problem that I've spoken
Yes,
to you
sir.
about. And I've got a question. I have about probably about 50 to 60 that have survived so far.
Yep.
Lost about 80 already.
Yep.
All right, so you said to get a clear container.
Yep.
With that many,